Welcome to the Art of Living podcast. I'm Zafar Majid. Today we continue with our theme of the different types of intelligence. And today we focus on social intelligence. And what is social intelligence? It is about your interactions with everybody else in your life. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. But before we go any further, just a humble request for you to subscribe to our channel below so we can continue updating you of our wonderful content that we have planned for you going forwards. But going back to our topic, how to develop social intelligence. Are you socially intelligent or are you socially dumb, unintelligent? Hopefully not. You are socially intelligent, and if you're not, then we'll just give you a little bit of an idea. What do we mean by that? And that's all to do with our interactions with all the people around you. And it's no point me saying, or yourself saying, I am a good person. I am really good with others, but they are the ones who are bad to me. The question is, what do they genuinely think about you and me? So let's say if I'm here on my own, and there's 10 people on the other side, and they are saying that you are not good, you're not a nice person, but I say I'm a nice person. Who are we likely to believe? The 10 people on this side or yourself single-handedly on one side? More than likely, the 10 people on the other side will have some weight to what they are saying. Maybe we can't see where our errors are. We cannot see where our faults are that we other people are trying to flag up or they are demonstrating back to us in our dealings. So how do we ensure that we have the level of social intelligence to deal with all the people in the best way possible? Are you a generous type of a person? Are you an easy to approach? Are you the one who is always helpful to others and they actually look forward to meeting you? Are you the one when you meet people and you leave them, they feel the loss of your company? They feel sad that you've left their company. Or are you the one that they actually cannot wait to see the back of? They actually hate dealing with you. They hate it when you walk into the room because you bring this negative vibe into the atmosphere which causes them unease. I say this because I know people who are like that. There's people who have those personality traits where as soon as they walk into the room, there's already the actual atmosphere changes from a positive to a negative one. And one of the ways to try and see what people genuinely think about you is to ask them. Maybe the people who you have the most interaction with, your spouse, your brothers and sisters, your colleagues, there's no harm in sitting down with them and having a constructive criticism session where you can ask them, say, look, you deal with me every single day and you have dealings and interactions with me. I would like to now hear from yourself, what do you genuinely think about me? What is your perception of me? How do you find me? And just sit back and hear what they are saying. And your job is not to defend yourself, not to leap out and say, no, you don't say that about me. That's not true. I don't believe you. Just sit back and just try and take in what all these people's perception is about you. And your job is not to defend yourself. Your job is going forwards is to change that negative perception that they've got in their mind about you. And you want to be the person who people look forward to meeting. You want to be the person who creates that awe-inspiring aura when you walk into the room. You want to be the person that people want to get hold of on the phone and they are chasing you. They want to work with you. They want to sit with you. They want to hear from you when you are sitting with them. Not the other way around where you're talking and they can't wait for you to shut up because you're actually either boring them to death or you're talking a whole lot of waffle and they're not interested in that. And we've got friends like that. We all have. So let's focus on ourselves. How do we become those positive, awe-inspiring individuals which create that aura around us that attracts the right people? Even if the wrong people come, they will benefit from you, but you will not be affected by their negative personality. So let's briefly touch upon the things that you should be focusing on. Number one, be a positive person at all times. Number two, do not react to the negative behavior of other people. It's so easy to fall into that trap where you go down to the level of the person who is arguing and who is trying to debase you, or they've got bad behavior towards you. You should sit back and you should not lower yourself. And also, just think that every single person around you is different. You don't know what battles they are fighting mentally, internally, secretly. And maybe that's manifesting in their behavior. So it may not necessarily just be yourself. And it's also very easy to think that, okay, I will be good to those who are good to me. There's nothing special about your personality then. Because the real special person is the one who is good to the ones who are not good to him or her. So this is the way of the prophets. Our beloved messenger, peace be upon him, used to be the one who was the first to forgive the ones who have wronged him. He was the first to give to the ones who have deprived him. He was the first to mend ties with the ones who have broken ties with him. We should be of that mindset, that we should be the ones who give first, we should be the ones who forgive first, and we should be the ones who create those ties of kinship and friendship, not be the first to break them. And this is how you are going to develop that intelligent, socially intelligent personality where you will always be having positive interactions with all the people around you, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your parents, whether it's your brothers and sisters, and whether it's your neighbors or colleagues. The problem of this day and age is that if you look around in all our families, there's always broken relationships. Sadly, we have brothers not talking to a brother. We have children not talking to their parents. We have neighbors who don't get on with each other. We have business partners who fall out with each other. They start with their sort of this zeal and enthusiasm that they are going to start a business together, and that business is going to take over the world, but very quickly that partnership breaks down because one of them developed a negative mindset, and what happens is that the other one reacts with the same negativity and the relationship breaks down. All if both of them had that mindset that I will never be the first to be negative, and they always remained positive, and that relationship would never have broken down. That's why I see it all the time. Business partnerships which are constantly breaking down and affecting the business, they are the ones that which normally very rare, that the ship of partnership very rare reaches the shore because it gets basically broken down in the middle of the ocean and never reaches its destination. So going back to the relationships, is you are the one who has to work on these relationships. And one of the best ways to analyze whether you have a socially intelligent personality that which has a good interaction with people around you is look at the number of people who have fallen out with you, who have stopped talking to you. That normally is a good indication that there's something wrong with your personality. I know a guy who got married 3 times. So he gets married, divorces the first wife, there's something wrong with her. She wasn't right, she was like this, she was like that. Gets married the second time, same problems, didn't like the wife, she had all these problems with her, this fault, that fault, that fault. married third time now. And it's obvious the problem wasn't with those spouses that he's divorced. The problem is with him, that he is taking into each relationship the same problems which are causing those relationships to break down. So there's many people who cannot sustain relationships because intrinsically they have a rotten personality, which sooner or later uh, sort of unravels and manifests itself to those people that they are in a relationship with. Maybe when it's a new relationship, they're getting on so well, they're putting their best act on, best behavior, but once they get to know each other, the mask drops because they cannot continue with that drama, with that fake persona. Sooner or later, the real character comes out. And that's why many people who get on with each other in long distance relationships, they actually fall out when that relationship comes closer physically. Because when they have a long distance relationship, they don't know the real person. The real person is actually revealed when they come close and they have a proper physical interaction. That's why our one of our blessed companions of the beloved Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu anhu, the one of the main four caliphs of Islam, said, "You can never judge a person until you have traveled with them. You can never judge them until you've had dealings with them, financial dealings." And in one other narration, they said that you will never be able to tell who they really are until you've lived next door to them. But let's just analyze even one of them, financial dealings. How many people who we have lent money to, it's only once you've lent money to them that they've either disappeared, they've stopped taking your calls, they haven't paid your money back, and that's when you realize that was the real person that I actually gave money to. Not when they were all smile, smile, sweet, sweet, and being very friendly when they wanted the money, or when there was no real dealing that happened between them. It's that was the real personality that was unraveled when you lent the money to them. Also, when you travel with somebody. I mean, this example that they gave was from a time when people used to travel on animals, on camels for weeks and months, and then you get to see the real person because they'll be tested when patients will be tested when there's going to be some other tests along the journey. Even here, how many times when we've gone on a long distance travel with somebody, maybe on Hajj or Umrah, we realize that we see a different side to a person to when we just meet them socially in the UK. Maybe it's in the masjid, Assalamu alaikum, brother, wa alaikum salam, wa rahmatullah. But you don't get to see the real person until you've traveled with them or you've actually had any financial dealings. And that's why a lot of people who outwardly purport to be best friends, but as soon as they get into a business partnership, which I mentioned earlier, the partnership breaks down. That's when they start dealing with the real person. So going back, we need to start on ourselves. We are the ones that need to ensure that we emit that positive energy and the positive frequency when we are dealing with people. We are the ones who are always overlooking the faults of others, and we are the ones who are quick to forgive, and we are the ones who are the first to benefit others. That's when you could really say that you are a socially intelligent person.